So we did 10 episodes for the first season, which ran, I think, around summertime of last year. And so those were all Manitoba based, mostly photographers, and I think like one videographer. And so when I decided, okay, like let's keep going with this, I wanted to make sure that I was also highlighting Saskatchewan content creators. And again, that broader spectrum of content creators compared to just photographers, because you can have a camera and you can be creating content for anything at this point, right? And so like for your TikTok, for food, for travel blogs. So you're going to be our first food blogger.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
First
so I'm excited. Well, in general.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. So it'll definitely add some variety to our content. And so I'm really excited to start talking to you. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on another episode of It Was F8, brought to you by Dawn's Photo, where we talk to your local content creators. I'm your host, Jess Loso, and today I am joined by Ling.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so for any of us that don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with the kind of content that you create.
So my name's Ling. I started lingeatsyqr, originally from Winnipeg. So I started Ling Eats YWG. But honestly, it just like my partner at the time, we had just liked going out to eat at like local restaurants. So we'd always try and hit up all the new local restaurants or places that we always love to go to. And I would always just post it on my personal page. And one day my friend was just like, I think you should just start a whole different page for this. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should. So that's kind of how it started.
Was there like particular steps that you had to take to get started, or was it kind of just organic and it happened the way that it happened?
There was definitely steps that I had to take. I actually have a friend who runs a super successful blog. So, and she has a really big following herself. So before I actually jumped into starting the account, I kind of picked her brain a little bit on how I could be successful in content creating and being consistent with like the posts, because, you can't just like jump into it and hope for the best. You kind of have to have a content calendar, if you will, or like content already set up, or like, you just have to figure out what your schedule is going to be like. So I kind of hit her up just to pick her brain about what I should do. And then also before I actually started, I took like between, I say 3 or 4 months up to 6 months, literally just instead of posting right away, kind of saving my content for when I actually started Ling Eats. So when I started, I just had content ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because once you start on that train, there's kind of like no getting off of it, right? Like there's some sort of expectation there that you need to build up that consistency, right? So having that 3 to 6 months ahead of time puts you at an advantage when you do need to take a break, or when you do have to kind of figure out what's the next place you're going to be eating at. But yeah, do you plan ahead of time which restaurants you want to hit up?
I don't plan that far ahead of time now, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Now it's more like I give it like a few weeks. Sometimes I'll be thinking what I want to post. I'll have a bunch of content, but I'll just pick something the day of. Like, I just posted on my TikTok today. I literally just did that this morning.
Okay. And now, would you say that there's a different vibe because you interprovincial, would you say that there's a different set of restaurants available in Winnipeg compared to Regina?
Oh, definitely. Like Winnipeg is, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it, they're unmatched with the restaurant industry, and everyone knows it, especially for the prairie provinces. Regina is still building a really good restaurant scene, and like they do have a great restaurants, like don't get me wrong, but when it comes to Winnipeg restaurants, there's just so many of them, and it's plentiful, and there's just so many different options that you literally can satisfy a craving any day of the week, and it could be for anything, where it's a little bit harder in Regina for that.
What have been some of the biggest challenges you've encountered thus far?
I would have to say it really had to been the pandemic and having to pivot your content. Because like for me, my content was mainly based on going to restaurants, trying food, like showing the whole spiel on my stories, and then writing a review about it for people to see. But like when COVID hit, obviously all the restaurants shut down. The only option was to do takeout, and everyone was on TikTok. So like I I had to pivot what I was doing to still be relevant and entertaining to like my followers. So that was, I would say that was the biggest challenge for food bloggers or foodies or food influencers, was that like basically pivoting what they were doing, changing their content completely to be still appealing to people at home. And if you noticed, a lot of people ended up like start making home cooked meals, becoming home cooks. I started air Friday series where I literally would just try and make things in my air fryer and like just hope for the best.
Were there any recipes that like really went beyond your expectations, and were there ones that you're just like, I shouldn't have tried that?
Oh my gosh, I tried air frying ice cream. Oh, I know. I thought it was a good idea, but either my air fryer didn't heat up enough or like my ice cream wasn't frozen enough. Either way, it was like a mess. So never doing that again. The cookie that I made for it was great because I wanted to do a cookie sandwich.
Okay.
And so like I did that. Also another fail was beef jerky.
Air frying beef jerky didn't work?
No, it didn't work. I did it. It was too high. I did it for too long. I should have done it low and slow. But like also like you're sitting there for hours, and I didn't really think about that at the time. I was like, how can I speed up the process so it's still beef jerky? Total fail.
Well, it sounds like you're kind of a pro at the air frying though. Like you have it down almost to a science where you're like, this may or may not work. I have to make adjustments.
Yeah, totally. But like I was going in it without figuring out whether it was going to work or not. Like I did no planning. I just figured out what I was going to make, get the ingredients, and then tried it.
Is this on your TikTok?
No, it's on my Instagram.
Okay.
I didn't have enough room, so I think at a certain point it cuts off. But like there's a few of my air Fridays on there, and people keep telling me that I need to start it again. Eventually,
did you take a break?
I did. I took the long. I told people I was going to take a summer break, and then I never came back after that. I didn't start the series again.
Well, yeah, for the air frying.
Just for air Friday, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a signal to try it again because that sounds really interesting. What kind of equipment, planning, and prep do you utilize when you're creating your content?
I either have like a ring light with me, a small little ring light with me, a tripod, and just my cell phone right now.
So you're just using your cell phone?
Yeah. Most content creators are pretty much just using their cell phone right now. I want to get a camera. I haven't ventured into that, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm using. Everything's pretty basic.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment with your food blog?
Okay, so when I first started Ling Eats, one of my goals was I don't know if you remember Super Deluxe Pizza.
Okay.
Super Deluxe, also they were sister restaurants to Vera's in South Osborne.
Okay.
And all I wanted was them to name a pizza after me so bad. And so when I started Ling Eats, that was like a goal that I had on my list of things that I wanted to do. And they never ended up doing that for me though. Although I always try to like push it to them. They didn't do it, but in the end though, the day that they closed, they found out like their last service, I ended up going in, which was really nice. And then the owner like paid for my last meal there. So it was like bittersweet. Yeah, I went in for the last service for dinner, and he comped my entire meal. So he paid for my meal. But to that, for the month of April, there's a pizza place here called Peaks Pizza. They asked me if I wanted to do a collaboration pizza with them. Ooh. So I did a collaboration pizza with them. I actually recreated the Super Deluxe's grape and blue cheese pizza, except I added a honey drizzle to it. And then I omitted the garlic with a rosemary oil base. And I called it Ling's Fave because that was my favorite from Vera's. Aww. And so I would say that's my accomplishment right now. I finally have a pizza named after me.
I'm going to have to try it out.
Yes.
Well, actually, so like, again, side note, one of the things that they have me doing this summer is actually going on a road trip out into Saskatchewan and visiting both of our stores. Yeah. So one in Regina and one in Saskatoon. So I'll actually be out there for a few days. So we might even be able to meet up in person or do an in-person interview or a follow-up or do something fun.
Oh, 100%. Yes, I would love to. We could just go out to eat.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I've never been there before, so I don't know where to go.
Okay, well, do it. Let's do it. Let me know when you're in town. I will make sure that we have some space to eat. So like, don't eat for a few days. We can we could do a little Regina food tour.
I say yes to this. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Food tour? Okay.
Yes, food tour.
I think we're going to have a great time.
Oh my God. Well, because I've actually been to Vera's and like the pizza there is amazing. So if the ambiance inside Vera, so if it's anything like Vera's or if the menu is anything like Vera's, I can say that it is primo stuff.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be good.
What is the wildest thing that you've had happen while creating content for your account?
Okay, so like I was gonna do like I tried this so you don't have to kind of product. And so they had like I was at Walmart the other day and in the ramen section they also had these like instant pasta.
Okay.
Cups. And so I was just like, this is interesting. I think it was like carbonara or something. I was like, I'm gonna try this. Set it up. I was gonna do a little TikTok to be like, got this product, trying it so you don't have to situation. And so like I read the instructions and it said open a little bit, put some water in and then put it in the microwave for X amount of time. And you know how like with ramen cups, you close it, you open it just a little, close it and like let it go. Mm-hmm. Mine started on fire. And it was supposed to be in there for 3 minutes. And all of a sudden, like literally I look like I could smell fire. And I was like, what is going on? And my microwave was like the cup inside the microwave was on fire.
And you only left it in there for less than 3 minutes?
Yes.
Did you complain? Is your microwave okay? Or are you okay?
I literally forgot about it until now, but it happened a few weeks ago and I was going to post about it. It's another thing that I saved. But it didn't work. It was literally on fire. So that's probably one of the craziest things that's happened while creating content was that I almost burned my house down with a freaking $2 cup.
Don't buy instant carbonara from Walmart.
Yes. For everyone's entertainment, I almost burned my house down.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, and I'm glad you're okay.
I had to really think about that, but like, yes, that was literally the worst.
You're like completely regret. Well, I thought you were gonna say that you were gonna try and air fry it.
That would have been it would have been a better idea than putting in the microwave at this point.
You would think that something that says it's microwavable, you would be able to put it in there without it catching on fire.
Yeah. But like the good content creator that I am, I filmed it before I put it out.
Footage of like, you.
Oh, I opened it. I was like, oh, so I was like, oh no. So I pulled out my camera, filmed it, and then I was like, okay, I need to take this out.
And then you did the aftermath kind of thing too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Again, I'm glad you're okay and that nothing was down. Did your microwave still work?
Yeah, it does. It worked. It was a very like I caught it before it turned into a big mess, but
because you were saying you could smell the fire.
Yes, I was just like, what's going on here? So
why does this smell like this? Am I having a stroke?
Pretty much.
What's one thing you'd love to get the chance to do?
Speaking this into existence, but I would love to host a Food Network show one day. Everything that I'm doing now, that all the opportunities that I've been doing, I feel like is getting me closer to that point. So like, I know I'm going to host a Food Network show one day. So just mark my words.
With every flaming cup of instant carbonara comes the opportunity to learn. No, but it's true. And it's more content for you to create and gets you one step closer to what you're manifesting.
Exactly.
And what is a piece of advice that you would give to anyone looking to get started on their own food blog?
Exactly what I did, like build some content and be consistent with it. Cause like there's so many food accounts, especially in Winnipeg, that started and then all of a sudden they dropped off the face of the earth. And I feel like it's because they either just didn't like have enough content built or like was consistent enough. So like the most successful food bloggers and influencers are always the ones who've planned or consistent with how often that they post. And you don't even have to post that often. Like save enough content to post like once a week or once a month and see what happens. Every couple weeks, actually. Once a month, no one's gonna be interested. But yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you came on.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And thank you everybody at home for joining us. And until F8 brings us back together, we'll see you next time.